This is going to be one of the most unique and important updates I've given you on my YouTube channel this year. I want you to watch all of it because I'm going to be showing you some pictures that probably very few of you have ever seen before. Let me begin my story by saying this. Several years ago, a member of the U.S. military was in one of my meetings and said something to me that was later confirmed by 3 different sources. And this information came all the way back into August of 2008. Now, we know that's been a while, and I'll explain that in just a moment. They were talking to me about the stock market and the manipulation of money in the Arab world, but that there would eventually come a change of currency and began to talk to me about this change of currency, which would eventually come. They said that the day that it would happen and it would occur, that the military would be preparing for resistance in a lot of our larger cities. And the change would occur without any warning, but eventually we would have a cashless society. Now, we do know, based on the information we have now many years later, that it will be some form of a cryptocurrency that will be controlled by World Banking, where they can track what you're spending. All right, let me say this. It was sometime later, I received an envelope in the mail, and it was a handwritten letter with no name on it, and it was pictures of a prototype of currency that I want to show you in just a moment. And the person had been involved with, they didn't say they worked for, but they said they had been involved with the Federal Reserve Bank in New York City, and because of my prophetic teaching, they thought I would find this extremely interesting. And so I began to look at this, and it was a currency that had been prepared for something called the North American Republic. Now, before I explain the North American Republic, let me explain to you what was rumored several years ago. There was something called the Amero, the North American Currency Union, that had got together. That's what that represented, the North American Currency Union, the Amero, came up with an idea of a new currency. It was proposed by a Canadian economist named Herbert G. Grubel in 1999, a senior fellow at the Fraser Institute think tank. And he published a book called The Case for the Amero in September 1999. Now, the idea of the professor was for there to be one currency for the North American area. In other words, one currency that would be used in Mexico, the United States, and Canada. And he even came up with a prototype design. Now, some people thought that that currency had been printed. It had not. He also minted some coins that were minted and designed by Daniel Carr, and some thought it was a real currency that already existed. It was not. It was simply coins. But several years after this book came out, Lou Dobbs began to talk about the idea of a North American Union that he believed would one day be implemented. So there were different types of prototype bills for the Amero and for different ideas that artists came up with, and some of those are out on the internet. But this one is extremely, extremely interesting. So here's what I did. When I received these, I didn't receive the actual bills. I received photos. You're going to see these on paper. You're going to see them in detail in just a moment. And I had several people, including a former U.S. congressman, to look at these. And I had some people that were bankers, very high bankers, and also investors. Now, they could not confirm the actual production or printing of these bills had taken place, but they said that they are extremely interesting, and most of them said to me they believed it was a prototype that had been designed. Not that it had been printed, but it had been designed for what would be called the North American Republic. Now, there are some interesting features on these bills. First of all, there's a blue flag with 3 stars. One star represents America, the other Canada, and the other Mexico. There are 3 stars behind the picture. There are no U.S. presidents. The pictures that are on these bills are entrepreneurs and business people or great bankers that started banks a long, long time ago, some of our original U.S. bankers. So they are more business people, famous business people from yesteryear that are printed on these particular bills. It's printed in English. It is also printed in French because of Canadians speaking French. It is also printed in Spanish on all the bills. So you have 3 languages. Of course, the Americans can tell what it is by the number, but you have the French and the Spanish language on the bills. There is no God and trust on the currency. But what is also interesting, there appears a barcode printed on the currency and 3 emblems that represent Canada, Mexico, and the U.S. Now, what is interesting about the barcode is someone who who had worked with Homeland Security said that you can take currency and you can actually, with the proper machines, if it has a barcode on it, when someone passes through the airport, whether it's in their wallet or it's in their purse or they're smuggling it in, it will actually show the barcode how many. For example, if you have a barcode on the $50 bill and you have 10 $50 bills, it will show you there's 10 $50 bills in the person's pocket. So the barcode is probably for transitioning across borders or tracking the carrying of the money, and can also be for other purposes in the buying or selling process. I also noticed, after looking over all of these bills, the capstone on the $1 bill has the pyramid complete. Now, on the $1 bill now, it's missing, meaning it's incomplete. It's an incomplete project. It also says a New World Order in Latin on the $10 bill, and it has the eagle with a key in its mouth on the $10 bill. This is what's printed on it that was fascinating to me. This note is legal tender by the Union of the North American Republic, established and authorized by the Free Trade and Recovery Act of the Central Bank, approved by the U.S. Federal Reserve, Bank of Mexico, and Bank of Canada, and also the Bank of Mexico. So this was actually printed under the Obama administration, and there was a belief that there was going to be open borders. Remember, there was a lot of talk about there being open borders. Now, the idea of having this currency is as follows, because everything is based in Canada, America, and Mexico on U.S. dollars. But the United States has been printing for quite some time money that brings the valuation of the dollar down. And the way we're printing trillions of dollars now, the dollar will be worth much of nothing in the next couple of years if we continue to do what we're doing. So therefore, you have to somehow bring the dollar value down. Then by bringing the dollar value down, we say, no, wait a minute. If we have a currency equal to Canada, America, and Mexico, then it may stop everybody from coming over the border because the currency will be the same level. The reason people come from Mexico to America is they work for dollars and send the dollars back into the banks of Mexico, and they have much more money by using the dollar than they do using the peso. And so I believe, and it's really interesting, John Kerry made a statement about the North American Republic about 2 years ago, and my ears perked up. I said, did he really say what I thought he said? And I had never heard it talked about publicly by a government person, and it may have been 4 years ago, but several years ago, he made the statement about the North American Republic. So the idea is to have borderless, no borders. You have a passport to cross the border. That's it. So it's a passport for the North American Republic, just like the EU, just like the African Union. North America will have one. Then you'll exchange the dollars. You'll bring your dollars in, exchange it for the new currency, and then the new currency will be used in all three places. But eventually, we will go cashless. Now, I believe it's possible that we may even skip the currency part and actually go into more of the cashless faster than we thought we were going to do. But I did want to show you this. I've had this for quite some time, and I thought, well, you know what? With the talk of the global reset, the talk of open borders, and all the talk we're hearing, could this be a prototype? It's not been printed to my knowledge, but it may be an idea of a prototype for a North American Republic currency. And so I have actually, and I'm just going to add this very quickly, watched as the dollar has been in decline with the printing of money, and I can see where a new currency would be or could be established for the North American continent and involve Mexico and America and Canada. Well, that's what I wanted to share with you. If you'd like to share the video with others, please do so. And I'd like for you to subscribe to my channel because it helps us to, in the algorithms of the YouTube channel, to get more people watching the messages that we're bringing you and the teaching and educational instruction. So thank you for joining me. We always put something very special that we offer you at the end of each program. So please watch it all the way through because I think you might miss something if you don't do that. Thank you for your time. Always remember, you can go to perrystone.org for more resources and update information. And God bless America, and God bless you.
We are living in epic times. We are the Revelation generation, and we must not hide in spiritual darkness, but must clearly understand these prophetic times and seasons. Also informing others that the last days are upon us. Perry Stone and Bill Cloud have joined together for an urgent series of new prophetic updates that are now available to you on CD or DVD. The messages included by Perry are the Hebraic prophetic code concealed in the Seventh Kingdom parables, America, epicenter of the next revolution, the new 70-year prophetic cycle and latest end-time signs, Israel prodigies being fulfilled, final birth pangs of the Messiah, America in crisis, the sign of fires, the axe, and the tree. Also included in your CD or DVD set are 3 messages by Bill Cloud that contain amazing prophetic insight. The messages are the beginning of sorrows, when God hides his face, the fight for America. To receive your set of CDs, request offer number 20PS2-CD. They are available for your gift of $60 or more. To receive the DVDs, request offer number 20PS2-DVD. They are available for a gift of $80 or more. You can order online at perrystone.org or by calling toll-free 1-888-21-BREAD. That's 1-888-212-7323. You may also write to us and send a check or money order to Perry Stone Ministries, P.O. Box 3595, Cleveland, Tennessee 37320. In this day and time, as we continue to experience biblical prophecy unfold, these timely messages are something you will want to share with your entire family and friends. We look forward to hearing from you soon.